Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you how to do some simple transformations in After Effects. First of all, this is how the interface looks. You'll see that here there is the project area, this is the screen area, and this is the timeline. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a new composition. We're going to use these presets, 720, 29.97 seconds. That gives us this size, and I want you to change this here to 5 seconds. Right now it's set at 50 seconds. 05, that's 5 seconds. And if you would like, you can change the background color. I'm going to do something like this. Okay. Oh, it's very bright. And the first thing we're going to do is you're going to see that it's created the comp, and that's the file that this little project's going to go into. And we're going to create a shape to put into our comp. We can go to Layer, New, Shape Layer, and you'll see that's created a shape layer here, and we need to make a shape. So here's our toolbar, and here is the shape tool. We can make a, let's see, I'll make a rectangle, and I will click and drag. Right now my rectangle is a white outline. Maybe I'll keep that, and maybe I'll change my stroke to, let's see, perhaps something like this, 40. And what you can do is you can, if you just noticed, if you click and drag, we can make this number bigger or smaller, or we can click on it and type in a number. Okay, so the next step is to make sure you have your anchor point in a place that is going to be helpful. So right now it's to the side. I'm going to use this tool here, which is the anchor point tool, and I'm going to just click on the background and then click on my shape, and this is the anchor point here. So I'm going to move the anchor point to the center of the object, and then I'm going to return to the selection tool. Okay, so you'll see as we made a shape, it's created a contents box here and the rectangle shape here. So we don't need to concern ourselves with that right now. I'm going to close the little window so you can open and close the options with these little triangles. And I'm going to open the transform options. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my shape to the other side, or to one side of the screen, and I'm going to begin to apply these 4 transformations: position, scale, rotation, and opacity. So the principle of After Effects is that you're working in time, you're changing objects in time, so you need to declare where something is at the beginning of an animation and where something is at the end. So if I'm going to change the position of an object, I need to say in the beginning my object is in a certain place. So I can do that by creating what's called a keyframe. To make my first keyframe, I need to click on the stopwatch. That's this little guy here, looks like a stopwatch. I'm going to click, and you'll see it's changed it to blue, and it's created a little blue dot right here. This is 0, the beginning of the animation. I'm going to move this is called the current time indicator, and again you'll see, like in Photoshop and Illustrator, if you put your mouse over an item and then hold and stay there quietly, you'll see the name of the item come up. So the current time indicator, we're going to move it to 2 seconds. So you can see here it's basically 30 frames per second, or 29.9 frames per second. It's 10, 20, 1 second, 10, 20, 2 seconds. So this is the 2-second mark. I need to say that the shape has moved at 2 seconds. So we can move our shape just directly on the frame here, on the window. And you can see that we've got these little dots here that say where the movement's happening, and I can bring my current time indicator back to the beginning, and I can press the spacebar. So in this particular animation, at this point here, the shape is at the beginning, and at this point here, shape is at the other side, and then from 2 seconds to 5 seconds, the shape is not moving. So just to make our time a little bit less long as we wait, I'm going to press the space bar again, and I'm going to move this here. This is this bar here, this big gray bar, has a little blue tab at the end. This is called the work area. And I'll just roll over it again so you can see that name, work area. And then this is the area that when we replay an animation we're making, it's only going to play it from here to here. Okay, so let's apply a scale transformation, and maybe I'll start that at 10 frames. First thing again is to hit the stopwatch, and that's to declare at this particular place in time my shape is 100%. So I'm going to move over to 2 seconds, and I can say that at this place my shape has changed in size. So there's a few different ways to do that. One way is to pick up the corner and directly scale it up or down. Another way is to go to these numbers and scroll them up and down. So I'm going to make my shape bigger, maybe like that. And you'll see that it's created another keyframe here to say that at this particular place in time, the shape is now 156%, and here it was 100%. So I'm going to click, and you'll see my shape has moved from one side of the screen and gotten bigger. The next item on the list here is to test out the rotation. I'm going to click on the rotation stopwatch, and I'm going to move over to the end to 2 seconds. And okay, so for rotation, we've got two numbers here. This one here is the degrees, so it's 360 degrees is a full rotation. And then this one here, which you can move up and down, this means spinning. It means a full rotation. So if you were to do this, for example, it means it's going to spin 38 times in the space of just over 1 second. So I'm going to keep that at 0 for now, and I'm going to turn this one 180% is good. I think it's going to do a half a rotation. So now if I come back to the beginning and I hit the space bar to play, there you go. So you'll see it rotate 180 degrees. One more option. We are going to have a look at the opacity, and the opacity is going to make our object more or less transparent. I'll start it at 1 second. Click the stopwatch, come to 2 seconds in time, and change the opacity. Let's change it to maybe 20%. It's almost disappeared. And press the spacebar, and there it is.